Good morning. My name is Megan, and welcome to yoga, first thing in the morning. So today we're going to start a little different. We're going to start standing and then work our way into a seat, or actually maybe lying back and do a breathing exercise. So if you're like me, I woke up feeling a little anxious, a little unsettled this morning, just with all of these changes happening. And sometimes when we're feeling this way, if we actually start with a little bit more active practice, it can help bring our energy back down. We talked a little bit on Monday about the prana energy, everything coming in at us, and if we're not able to digest everything, it can help make us feel anxious or unsettled. So we'll start moving, getting some of that energy flowing, and then at the end, we'll be maybe a little bit more grounded to practice that breathing technique. Plus, I watched Flashdance last night, and I really just want to put tape on my feet and run around, but we won't do that right now. But start standing, and we'll start here maybe with feet hip width or even a little bit further apart, and we'll start with toes facing forward. And if you want, we can just start here by shifting weight side to side, and just to really help us connect to our feet, to the mat. So even though we're moving, we're still thinking about grounding down. You might feel the connection through the heels, through the ball of the feet, through both, as you rock side to side as weight shifts. So just a couple more moments of going side to side. And if you want to get hips involved in here, you know I will never argue with the little hip movement. And then once that feels kind of settled for you, maybe start to rock forward and back. And so this time we're looking for this feeling of the weight shifting from the ball of the feet back to the heel. And this might help actually to feel a little more grounded as we bring attention more toward our feet and toward the weight shifting. And then once that feels fairly even, and we find this sweet spot right in the middle where our weight's evenly distributed between both feet and between the ball of each foot and the heel, we'll pause. Take a moment to think again about that swirly part of your head lifting up toward the ceiling. We'll take hands down by the sides and begin to start rolling the shoulders. So an inhale might lift shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, taking them down and back. A couple breaths this way as we inhale, shoulders up. And exhale, down and back. So you might be working with your breath here. You may be going a little faster, a little slower than me. And that's amazing. A couple more rounds of the shoulders heading toward the back. And then if you want, we'll just switch the directions of the shoulders. So we'll inhale more toward the back and round them toward the front. So this could be as big as you want it to be. I'm feeling like getting my elbows involved this morning, lifting them up toward the ceiling. Maybe you're feeling more like keeping arms a little closer toward your body, whatever feels right for you. Just starting to move the body, and if any other part wants to move, let it go. And then from here, begin to step your feet a little wider. And here, we're going to turn toes out just a bit, creating a wider base, toes turning out. From here, on an inhale, bend the knees, and then we'll start to straighten out the inhales. We reach fingertips and touch them above your head. The exhale comes through heart center as you find a little squat through center. Release the hands to the bottom. The exhale, inhale up. And exhale through heart center. So connection through the heels as we press down, inhale up. And exhale through heart center. So as we grind down through the heels, feel the length through your side body on the inhale. And exhale through heart center. 2 more, inhale up. And exhale through heart center. For this last one, inhale, arms up. Exhale through heart center, and then bring your hands to your thighs. On the inhale, find your cat into the standing cow. Just finding some arching around through the spine. Connecting with the breath. Taking this at your range of motion. So one more on the inhale. And then on the exhale, bend your knees a little deeper, and maybe you bring your hands to the ground, a little connection. Once your hands find the ground, You might start to straighten through the legs. Maybe your toes turn to face the front again. And options to stay right here, some bent knees, or maybe you want to sway side to side, move a little bit here. Another option would be to grab an elbow in each hand, but be gentle, listening to lower back, listening to the legs where they are right now this morning. Just a couple more breaths. So feel okay to start straightening the legs a bit, starting to wake up the hamstrings, the back of the body. And then when you're ready, we're going to take a little deeper bend in the right knee, start to straighten the left. The right hand comes to the ground, we're going to twist open to the left. Maybe left fingertips reach toward the ceiling. Might feel some length in the side body. And here's our booty teach again from next top model as the left hip sits back just a bit. And when you're ready, both knees bend and we'll switch sides. Left hand finds the floor. Start to straighten your right leg as right fingertips maybe reach toward the ceiling. And the right hip sits back just a bit. And when you're ready, both knees bend, both hands find the floor. From here, begin to heel toe your feet a little closer, more towards hip width, or again, maybe a little wider. So whatever bend in the knees you need here. Bring your hands to your thighs, and we'll begin to roll this up to standing nice and slow. So if you're like me, I like to bounce the knees a couple of times to encourage the blood to come back to my head as we roll up, lifting head last. Then I'm going to turn to face you again as we come into some side stretches. So for these today, we're going to start with hands on the hips. And then you'll take your right arm and extend it toward the ceiling, feeling length through your right side body. And when you're ready, we'll take it over toward the left in the side stretch. So being mindful, it's still a little early. I like to have a little bend in my knees here as I reach up with the top arm. Gaze is wherever is comfortable for your neck. When you're ready, we'll lift back up through center, bringing your right hand towards your hip. Left fingertips, when ready, reach toward the ceiling and then over toward the left. Side stretch here towards your right, excuse me. And again, gaze is wherever is comfortable. When you're ready, we'll lift back up through center. Bring hands to the hips to start. And I'm going to turn just so you get a visual here. I'm going to bring hands maybe to the sacrum from here, or as close as we can, maybe toward the outer hip, toward the sacrum. Either way, thinking about squeezing elbows towards each other. Shoulder blades pulling down the back. And again, I like to have a bend in the knees here. We have an option to shift hips forward just a bit as you squeeze elbows toward each other. Breastbone might lift toward the ceiling. Maybe your chin lifts, but I'm going to turn again. Finding a little opening through the chest, through the breastbone. And then leaving hands where they are, start to take a little deeper bend in the knees and begin to fold forward, thinking about belly coming onto the thighs. The option here, if you have opening in your shoulders, you can clasp your hands and extend them out for a yoga mudra. But listening to shoulders, they can stay, your hands can stay right on the sacrum. And again, you may want to sway here, you may want to stay still. Just a couple more breaths. I'm going to play around a bit this morning for myself, just starting to straighten the legs here. Maybe you feel the same. Really gently, maybe just a couple of straightening and bends. And then when you're ready, releasing arms down to the ground. We'll just take a couple of breaths here. Again, if you want to move. If you want to stay still in this forward fold, stay still. And I'm going to turn again just so you can see. I'm going to bring hands to the mat and then step this back into a tabletop. So just lowering one knee at a time. Until I find myself Once again, with my wrists underneath shoulders and knees underneath hips. I'm going to come right back to those cat-cows, this time working with our typical breath. On the inhale, dropping the belly, coming into your cow. And on your exhale, pressing into your hands and rounding into the cat. So a few just like this. Inhale into the arch. And exhale into the round. So one more just like this. And then coming into your neutral tabletop. From here, if it's comfortable, tuck your toes just a bit. We're going to play around with a different movement here, this different variation of cat-cow. So coming into the cow first, find the arch. This is your inhale. But on your exhale, press back onto your heels, finding a round in the spine. Inhale, coming forward, lowering belly into the cow. And exhale, pressing back onto the heels. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, pressing back. So one more. Yogi ears are red. Inhale, come forward, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale as we press back. You might start to press so the knees start to lift up off the floor, and we gently press into our downward facing dog. It's our upside down V. And once we're here, maybe you want to move by pedaling one heel at a time. Maybe it feels better to stay still and hold the shape. Again, what's going to suit you today? Just a couple more breaths in this downward facing dog. From this shape, when you're ready, lower your knees wide onto your mat. Bring your toes together and we'll sit back for a child's pose. So this time, the toes are extended, tops of the feet on the floor. Option to extend arms long and bring forehead to the mat. Maybe it feels better right now to bring hands by your feet. That's an option. And either way, if arms are extended or by your feet, if your forehead has found the mat, maybe you begin to gently rock your head side to side. A gentle massage of the third eye, encouraging the parasympathetic nervous system to engage. If they're not there already, extend your arms out long, and we'll come into a side stretch here in child's pose. So you're gently beginning to walk your upper body toward the right side of your mat, so hands can come off your mat. There's a number of options here. We could take the left hand on top of the right. That feels good in your side body. And then your gaze could be straight down or maybe under either arm. Maybe play around with what they feel like today, with what these different gazes feel like. And one more breath on this side. When you're ready, we'll switch sides, walking hands over toward the left. So I like to lift my upper body a bit as I transition. Maybe yours stays pretty low. Either way, it's fine. And again, you might take right hand on top of left and find the gaze that suits you best on this side as you breathe, maybe into your right ribs. Two more breaths. And when you're ready, gently bringing the upper body back to center. On an inhale, lift up into your tabletop. Go ahead and cross your ankles and come into a seat. So you can take a moment here if you like. We're going to be in seated just for a few moments, but to come onto a blanket if that feels more comfortable. But once we find ourselves on our seat, we come back to the thought of the sit bones grounding, that swirly part of our head lifting, shoulder blades pulling down the back, long spine. And from this shape, bringing right hand behind you. It's going to become your second spine. We're coming into a seated twist. So your left hand, I like to keep it on the left knee to help guide my twist a little deeper. You have the option of taking it over toward the right knee as well. A little more of a closed twist. But the back hand, your right arm, extends you tall. And begin your gaze maybe over toward the right. Gently switch sides, coming back through center. Take a moment in center to reset, to feel tall. Crown of your head, that swirly part lifting to ceiling. Left hand comes behind, fingertips might find the ground or your prop to press you tall, and then come into your twist. So again, I like to take right hand on the right knee. Maybe you want to bring it over toward the left. Either way. Take a moment to feel your both sit bones grounding in this twist, in a tall spine. And then gently release and bring your body back to center. So we begin to set up for our breathing practice this morning. If you want to stay seated, that's amazing. If you want to come onto your back, that is fine too. Just finding a position I'm going to turn to face you that's really comfortable. So you may have heard that the sound of Om is this cosmic sound, and I've heard that there are two pieces to this cosmic Om, and that is So and Hum, with So being the more feminine piece and Hum being the more masculine. And we can, actually these sounds are the sounds of our breathing. If we think about our inhale slightly making a So sound, and our exhale making a bit of a Hum sound. And so we can use these sounds, these words of these sounds, as part of a meditative breathing practice. So first settle into your seat or onto your back or wherever is most comfortable. Maybe your eyes close or your gaze relaxes down. And we'll start by coming back to our full breathing, like we did yesterday and more yesterday, but where we feel the entire capacity of our lungs. You might think about this in the three parts like we did yesterday, with your belly expanding on the inhale first, then ribs, and then upper chest. And releasing an opposite. Maybe for you, it's coming back to that thought of a Buddha belly breath. Just breathing fully. If Ujjayi is part of your practice, or you have a bit of constriction in the throat, you could begin to practice that here as well. And then when you feel ready, silently to yourself, on the inhale, think or say to yourself, So. On your exhale, think or say to yourself, Hum. So. Hum. Continuing in this way, inhaling and extending the word So. Exhaling and extending the word Hum. As you practice this, you may begin to notice that either your inhale or exhale is a little longer, then the other. Maybe trying to even them out. Please continue with this breath, with using these sounds for as long as you like. When it feels complete for you, maybe pause for a few moments in silence before you begin the rest of your day. I will leave you to your breathing practice. Thank you guys so much. Namaste.